Hello everyone. Good evening. I hope you all are fine. I hope you all went to church. I hope you are doing well. Um a brief introduction to what we are going to do this night. This is not going to be a tutorial like your normal tutorials. This is more like me sharing my experience with all of you. I don't know why Emmanuel is calling it mentorship, but it's just how I did it, and then how just me telling you how I did it basically. So first of all, introduction. I'm just going to tell you about WAEC JAMB. I believe there are people here that are about to write WAEC. There are people here that are preparing for JAMB and probably screening, but I'm not sure anybody here is preparing for only screening. Maybe if you're preparing for screening, it means you're also preparing for JAMB because they've not written JAMB for this year. So yeah. Okay. The disclaimer is that I'm not here to give you advice. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not here to show you the way, to tell you that this is the way, and if you don't follow this way, then you're not going to make it. There are 1,000 ways to success, and each way is kind of unique to each person. The only thing is that there are general principles. Like for JAMB now, the format of the exam is general. It's a general principle anywhere. So I will just tell you how I did mine. Then you craft, you think, you know what works for you, you know yourself better than anybody would, and you craft your own plan, your own technique, and how you are going to tackle the exams. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is mindset and myth. I know that if there are people here that are preparing for WAEC, 60 to 70% of you have already paid your invigilator fee. Like as you're doing your registration, you are already preparing your mind that there's an amount of money you pay the invigilator. Now, I'm not going to give you any do or don't, any judgment based on that. But I just want to tell you that the moment you decide that this WAEC is copy you are going to do, it changes something about the way you prepare for the exam. And I think this is because of the myth. Now, I wrote WAEC just like many other people have written WAEC. And after writing WAEC, I found out that WAEC is like your normal exam. Don't allow people to scare you. Don't allow all the stories going up and down to scare you. If you are doing well in your normal academics, well, even if you are not doing well per se, it's always people that maybe are finding some subjects difficult that always share those stories, those tales of woe about WAEC, and people will just be scared, and then they'll now put all their trust and all their mind and hope in malpractice. But you can actually do this thing. Before I wrote WAEC, I told myself, favor, you are going to read for this WAEC in a way that if there is no malpractice, if there happens to be something, if something happens from anywhere, you can confidently get a credit in this WAEC. Yes, I made up my mind, and my classmates then they were like that nobody can pass WAEC without this thing, that if you like be strong and all this, that you just fail. But I still made up my mind that I myself, that if they, let's say, put me in a desert and tell me to write WAEC, I should be able to make a C. And it made me to prepare for it. A day our WAEC, there were people that were just joking, playing, because they already knew that, oh, the invigilator would be settled and they will have the freedom to write whatever they want to write. But there were others that were reading because of their mindset. So be careful of what you believe about this exam you're about to write. It is not hard. You see that that SS2 second term exam they set for you, that your second let's say in chemistry, that your define acid, define base, those are the kind of questions they will set in WAEC. They will not go and bring university stuff and give you. It's still what they taught in class that they will set, only that it will be a little more complicated. So the first thing you have to do is to not fear. Don't be scared. Approach this exam the way you approach your SS3 first term exam or your SS2 second term exam, just like a normal exam, only that you have to prepare harder, because this time you are going to write like a cumulative. It's going to be combined, your SS1, your SS2 and SS3. So if you are really putting in the work, I don't see any reason why you should be scared at all for WAEC, because on your own you should be able to get a C or okaria a D. But failing WAEC is unless you did not read at all. Unless you did not read at all, like you just put all your trust in exam malpractice, that you ever fail WAEC. So relax. The second thing is exam format. Now WAEC is you have 3 parts. You have your essay, you have your OBJ, and you have your practical. Not all subjects have practical. Practical is for science subjects, chemistry, physics, math, and other technical subjects like technical drawing and I think agric, catering, dyeing and bleaching and all that. So it's just basically it's your essay, your theory, your essay and theory, your OBJ, and your what? And your practical. So coming to practicals, for your chemistry, physics and biology, you're going to do practicals. So I will not start talking about the practicals. You know what these practicals are about. I understand that some schools don't have efficient practical learning. They don't have the equipment and all that. So most times they just end up copying, just giving their candidates something to write so that they can just pass. But however your school does it, either they do it actively or they give you something to write. Just make sure you take your practical seriously. If you do well in practical, there is no way you can fail that course. I'm telling you, there is no way. Even in universities like that, practicals remain top notch. Focus. I'll not say. I don't know if I should say focus, but take your practicals seriously. However they do it, make sure that you know what you are doing. If it's chemistry, if you are going to do the chemistry practical yourselves, most times the reagents are not working, so they just give these endpoints and you will now calculate with your endpoint. If they give you endpoints, make sure you learn those calculations before the exam. If you don't understand, go to your classmates that understand. Go to your neighbors, your seniors that have done this thing, and let them explain it to you. Learn it. If it's your physics, learn it. Make sure that on that practical day you are not moping. Take care of your practical well, and it will help boost your grade. And it's like that for all the practicals, even dyeing and bleaching, catering, and all that. Pay attention to them, do them well, and you will see that you will not fail. You will not fail, except you now go and get 0 in the essay, which is not possible if you actually follow this thing we are saying. Now, for English, I would like to pay attention to English because I love English, and I don't like the way English is taught in schools. Like, I feel like many schools don't pay attention to English. Many English teachers don't teach English the way they should be taught. I was lucky in my SS2. Was it SS2? In my SS1, during my SS1 holidays, I met a man that changed my life about English, and that man is Bishop Alex. Yes, Bishop Alex. For those of you in Nsukka, you should know him. He's a very good English teacher. He was then, I don't know for now, but I believe he should still be as good as he was. And he changed my English life. And from immediately after attending that lesson, I continued doing well in English throughout my secondary school. Even now, I'm still a lover of English. English still remains my best subject. So, and I find out that a lot of people don't know how to write essays. A lot of people, and they are scared of English. Now, when it comes to English, OBJ, and that main part, that option part, orals and all that, well, I don't know, just do your past questions and just pray that God will help you there. But when it comes to essay, I want to stress on this essay because knowing how to write an English essay will not only help you for this exam, it will help you throughout your life. Like, it will help you even in secondary school, even in university. It will help you in other subjects, because if you know how to write an essay, you will know how to answer questions better. Like in your WAEC theory, you know how to put things together and write well. So now, if you want to write an essay, after having a good handwriting, write freely. Write as if you are expressing yourself to somebody. Essays is like talking, but now writing what you are supposed to be saying. If you are writing an informal letter to maybe your friend in another country, you know what you are going to tell this your friend when you see your friend. You know what you are going to say. Be free. Express yourself. For example, the cliche, the normal thing anybody will tell you about writing letter begin with how are you doing, I hope you are fine, blah blah blah. And my aim of writing this letter is that thing is for primary school. You need to overgrow that. I don't know why I'm obsessed with saying this, but if you want to start a letter, you know what you say when you see that friend. You can be like, hello Emeka, it's been a long time since we last spoke. I hope you are fine. How is your family? What of that PS game you said you were going to buy? Have you bought it? All these things. You know how you greet your guys on the way? They're just telling you to put it in writing and put it in standard English. When you're writing a formal letter, you know that how you talk when you're talking to your classmates is not how you talk when you walk into the staff room and you're talking to your teacher. So you know how you're going to talk to your teacher. Replicate it in writing. That's what they need from you. Another thing I have to say is that a lot of people don't take WAEC seriously. They'll be so nonchalant about it. Number one, because they've paid, and number two, because they feel like, I don't know what they feel. But You people must have heard that they're not doing screening with WAEC. I don't know, but I heard that this year they did not use JAMB. They used WAEC and they did not use screening. They used WAEC and JAMB. So it should spur you to be serious with your WAEC. Take your WAEC seriously. It's possible to get B's. It's possible to get A's. If anybody told me I'll get 8 A's in WAEC, I would not have believed, because they told us a lot of things about WAEC, that you cannot pass WAEC if you don't do OBA. But then, just take it seriously as you take any exam that your life depends on. Okay, let me tell you why JAMB is a little bit more complex than WAEC. It's because a lot of people, when they finish WAEC, they have this mindset of if they don't pass JAMB the first time, they can easily rewrite it the second time. And that's the beginning of your doom. Because I see no reason why you should not try to pass JAMB the year you left school. It's probably because of peer pressure, because of what your friends are saying. But what your friends are saying, you don't know what it is for them at home. Now, some people are not able to get admission because of several reasons, which we all understand. But for you to just come out and decide, I've even heard somebody saying one time that he wants to use that first year to rest, and then the next year he can try to get admission. That's the devil. Let's see, if you work very hard, that year you came out is the year with your highest probability of getting admission. That's when your head is still fresh. That's when you have not been distracted. That's when you have not been carried away by a lot of things. And it's very important to take that year seriously and take JAMB seriously. In fact, let me start another voice note. Now, there are so many other reasons why JAMB seems to be more difficult to people than WAEC. The first one is attitude. I already talked about that next year I'll write again mindset. Now, it's okay if you don't get the first year, you can try again and try again, but just don't let it make you lazy. Don't let it get to your mind that if I don't get admission this year, I can get admission next year. What's stopping you from getting it that first time? If you tell yourself that you can get it that first time, you see that you work harder and you take it seriously. A second attitude is runs. I don't know. Ioane was talking about runs. I know that a lot of people do runs for JAMB. Well, what can I say? I don't know what to say, seriously. But if you are really a hardworking student, there are two groups of people here. There are people that want the easy way. They just want the easy way, the shortcut to enter school, and that's all. But I'm talking to the serious ones now, the people that are actually trying, that are working hard, that are reading, that really want to pass this thing and pass it by merit. That mindset is not going to take you anywhere. Now, the worst is that people that will do runs for you, they are going to charge a lot of money. But if you sit down and read for this thing, it's going to be free of charge. It's a gift God will give you for free. And it's more original. It's more authentic. Nobody can take it away from you. All these ones things, a lot of people are rusticated, if I should use that big word, from university at some point or the other because of a leak in their documents. It could be your WAEC, it could be your JAMB, but you can never escape it. If you forge any of these things, or if they notice any mushi in what you presented during the time of your admission, even if it's your final year, I'm telling you, even if you're finished 4 years or 5 complete years in school and they find out, there is no result for you. Like, they'll just tell you plainly that you are not a student, and by then you will not know what you did to yourself. So for those that want the shortcuts, good luck. For others, please, just this thing is possible. It's possible. You can do it if you work hard. The next thing is the work. I want to stress on this, the work, because the time you're preparing for JAMB is mostly for those that are writing for the second time, is mostly when you have a phone, you are now at home, you don't have anything doing, any serious thing doing apart from, let's say, JAMB lesson. You now have friends. You now have friends in your neighborhood, in your OB. You now have your guys and babes. You now have your girls and all that. So it's a very important thing for me to point out that you have to put in the work. I don't know how to stress this. You have to put in the work. Some of you press phone from morning till night. And in the night, you carry your physics and open it and read one page and say you have read. And you want to get 327 in JAMB. It's not possible. Except you are going to do wrongs. You actually have to put in the work. And by putting in the work, I mean reading. Let me tell you, nothing beats opening your textbook, your past questions, like holding them in your hand safe and reading them. Now, all these online things will help you, but be very careful that they don't take up all the time that you're supposed to use to actually open your book and read it. I'm telling you. You can say some of you will even join all the JAMB groups in this world, and then you don't read. You only attend the classes online. You don't even revise what was taught, and you are parading yourself as somebody that's preparing for JAMB. Sorry, but that's not the way. You have to sit down and read. In fact, buy the textbooks, buy those past questions. All this phone learning and all that, it makes up like 20% of everything. You need to read traditionally for you to internalize, understand, for you to be able to focus. One thing about all this online phone reading is that it reduces your attention span. You'll not be able to read for a long time. You'll not be able to do something for a long time, because if you read small, you just go to WhatsApp and view somebody's status or two, and before you know it, you are so carried away that you don't even remember the paragraph you read. So please, sit down and read. It's very hard. Like, sitting down to read is harder than carrying a trailer of cement. I'm telling you, it's hard, but you have to tell yourself that you have to do this thing in order to pass. Now, also, some of you at this point, you are entering business, you are doing other things, you are learning skills, and most of all, you are now having friends, you are now knowing more people from your JAMB lesson. Just be careful that all these things don't take away your study time. If you're learning a skill during the day, then it means you have to make use of your night. If you're attending JAMB lesson, it means you have to create time. You have to create time. Most of the JAMB lessons in Nsukka are either afternoon or morning. So if it's morning, around 12 you are done, and you can find somewhere you stay to read. If it's afternoon class, you can go out, you can leave your house by 9 or 8 when you are done doing anything you want to do for your mother, and you go there and read. When it's time for lesson, you go. That's how I did it. That's how my friends did it. My friends that got admission, that's how I saw them doing it. If you know that in your house you cannot concentrate, or your mom is going to be sending you to buy matches and buy lighter all the time, then tell her, mommy biko kam je go akwụkwọ. See, if you don't pass, they will not, I don't know. It's better you just pass. Just make them understand. If it requires you waking up early, do everything you have to do for her and go out to read your book. Be serious about it, and they will take you seriously. They will even be proud of you. They will even be happy for you if you are doing that. And please, I don't know how to say it, but don't let your phone be much of a distraction to you. A lot of you are doing crypto, a lot of you are doing Binance and all those things, but you still have to sit down and read for this exam if you're going to pass it. Another important thing about JAMB is the time management. And if I say this thing, don't say it's because maybe I passed, but JAMB is really a kind of normal exam if you are familiar with the past questions. It's not, I don't know how to say this thing. It's not like something they brought from Cambridge to set for you. It's still chemistry, it's still physics, it's still math. Only that this time the questions will be a bit technical, which if you're going for a JAMB lesson or you're using a past question, I highly advise that you use a past question. And if you can, attend a JAMB lesson. Like JAMB lesson did a lot for me. I attended Potter's lesson during my time. Potter's lesson, and it helped me because WAEC is different from JAMB. Some of you'll be preparing for JAMB, you open your Ababi or whatever chemistry textbook you are reading and be reading it line to line, yes. It does not work that way. JAMB has a pattern, JAMB has a formula, and you need to be familiar with that formula, and you can only do that through past questions or attend a JAMB lesson. If you attend a JAMB lesson, you still use a past question, but most times JAMB lessons are past question based. During my time, what saved me is that we were supposed to write JAMB on March 16th, if I remember clearly. They now moved it to April. Was it? I don't know. They moved it by a month. I cannot remember the exact date. But then, when they moved it, I now came back from school because I was in boarding school. I now came back. So my mom now said I should attend lesson instead of staying at home. Instead of winding away the time, I should be going for lesson. By that time, WAEC had not started. WAEC usually starts after JAMB. So Potters, they were doing this special revision week. I think 2 weeks special revision class. I went there. I found out a lot of things. There's a lot of, I don't know how to tell you how well to stress it. JAMB lesson can help you if you pay attention. There's something, okay, for example, in physics, the way they will teach you how to solve something in school might be that type that you solve one question for a whole page and even 2 pages, and they'll be marking it line by line, marking the formula, marking in maths they call it M1A1, all these things, marking each step you take. In JAMB is not like that. So you need to find the shortest way possible. That's where time management comes in. The shortest way possible to answer that question. that thing that you are taking 2 pages to solve, they can give you a shortcut to solving it, and you are just looking at the question, and within 2 minutes you already have your answer. You just maybe a formula, a shortcut formula or something like that, and JAMB lesson will give it to you, or tutorials like this. So it's important, please don't be independent if you are preparing for JAMB. It's only geniuses, and when I mean geniuses, I mean people with very high IQ. They can prepare for JAMB on their own and just pass. So try to chook head anywhere you see that they are doing any kind of JAMB lesson, whether online or offline, because those tips and those shortcuts are very important. They are what make people to pass JAMB. Because if you cannot manage your time, the time is ticking. It's not like WAEC where you have like 2 hours to answer the question. You even finish and still have time. In JAMB, you need to solve this thing as fast as possible. So please, if you can attend a JAMB lesson, or you're already attending a JAMB lesson, I believe this platform is a JAMB lesson on its own. Please take it very seriously, and also do your past questions. I recommend past questions that have solutions. Yes, they are easier to solve. So you look at how they solved it. If you don't understand, you can browse. That's where your phone now comes in. If you see a past question that you don't know how they solved it, type that question exactly how it is on Google, and they will give you different workings. You now choose the one you want. So past questions, JAMB lesson, very important. And myth. Is there any myth about JAMB that you cannot pass JAMB? Let me tell you, people pass JAMB, bro. Forget anything you've heard. People are passing JAMB, and you can too. I'm sorry that the voice notes are getting so many. I don't know. I'm trying my best to keep it short. The next thing is JAMB registration. Please and please take your JAMB registration seriously. The first thing, the most problem people have during JAMB registration is that SIM card. So I don't know if someone has said it here before, but it's important for you to know that while registering for JAMB, they will require a SIM card, and most times they require a new SIM card. Please don't throw that SIM card away, because after the JAMB, it's hard for you to print your result until JAMB uploads the portal. So if you lose that SIM card, you will not be able to see your result until a long time. I don't know. I'm talking based on experience of someone that is close to me. I don't know how it's done. I don't know whether they've rectified that issue, but most times you can only see your result by text message until they upload the results to the portal. Another thing is make sure that all your details are tallying. So for some of you that are going to forge age, do it well. Don't write 2001 when registering for WAEC, and on your JAMB form you write 2004. It will not make sense. Anything you're doing, make sure that it tallies. Make sure that everything goes together to avoid any small thing. The way these people deny you, they'll say that your documents are not tallying and all that. Another thing is, don't go to somebody to forge WAEC results for you. I don't know how JAMB does it, but these people, they are I want to say witches. They are witches when it comes to that. Like, I've had so many experiences of maybe your classmate. Okay, the other time, they said all of us should come for verification in my department, and in that verification, you have to open your WAEC results from the portal and show them, and also show them your JAMB admission letter. So if you forge result, they must catch you. I'm telling you, they must catch. Don't allow those people to deceive you. There is no way they will forge it so well that these people will not know, because at a point in time before you graduate, JAMB is going to request your details directly from WAEC. So whatever forging they did for you, if it doesn't reflect in WAEC office, you are wasting your time. And imagine if you now get something like medicine or pharmacy with your forged results, and you get called back in, let's say, 400 level. That would be a waste of effort, your years. You're going to regret it. So to avoid that, do well in your WAEC, do well in your NICU. Credit is the minimum. So try as much as possible to get at least C's in your core subjects. Make sure you fill in your details. Another thing is about name. Some of you, like my name is Olotofevon Kimakolam. I can feel some of you are so reckless, that you feel Olotofevon Favor on one paper, or you feel Olotofevon Kimakolam on the other paper. They are two different people as far as the JAMB is concerned, or WAEC, or whatever it is you're feeling for. Another problem is for those of you that have multiple names. So I can decide to write Olotofevon Kimakolam on one form, and then on another form I'm writing Olotofevon Kimakolam Chisom. Please, just to be safe, make sure that all your documents align. So the last thing is exam day. After preparing for your JAMB and doing all that needs to be done, on exam day, during my exam, I went, first of all, go early, because some people, they'll come late. Wow. If you come late, where do you want to start? Go early. Even if you are batch 3, make sure you are there before they start batch 1, and be revising if you can, except anything comes up. Then get your materials ready. Make sure you have done your registration properly, you have done your anything, reprinting and all those things. Then you go in, you thumbprint, you go in and sit down. Make sure you urinate, ease yourself, empty your bowel. If possible, don't eat. I don't like eating on the morning of exam, because I cannot even bear I cannot risk it. Anything can happen. Your stomach might begin to dance. So if possible, don't eat, you'll not die. But if you cannot endure it, please eat. But make sure you are eating something that is not going to disturb you. Because imagine in the middle of the exam, you say you want to ease yourself. They will allow you, but it's your time that is going. And after doing everything and you start the exam, you have to be very fast. You have to be very fast. Most people used to complain that they not finish in JAMB. But can I tell you, as a testimony, not as bragging, I have nothing to brag about. On my JAMB day, I finished, and I went through every question again before I submitted. I finished the 200 questions. Was it 200? Yes, 200, 60, 40, 40, 40. I finished, it's 180, either 180 or 200 questions. I finished before time, and I was able to go round again from English, biology, maths, physics, cross-check before I submitted. That's to tell you that I had time on my side before doing this thing. Now, it doesn't mean I got every question I answered, but that's just to tell you that I learned to be fast. I learned shortcuts, and I practiced. Had I not mentioned practicing, please, if you don't have that CBT app, download it. I kept practicing. I had the JAMB app, and from time to time I'll write tests, and I also wrote Porter's mock, Potter's mock. I was not able to register for the JAMB mock. They don't take everybody. They only take those that register early. So if you want to write JAMB mock, you should register as soon as they start registering. But if you are not, anywhere they are doing maybe a JAMB mock, a pretest, you can just join. It will help you to be familiar with that clicking thing. Some of you will go there and relax, and there is always air conditioner. You relax and be solving. You spend 20 minutes solving one question, and before you know it, your time is up. Another important thing, I think that's the last thing about writing the exam, is that there's this thing that happens most times from my own experience and from what I've heard. If you enter, you have this time on the laptop that's ticking for you. Now, if you go to a good center, what they do is that when your own time elapses, you go. But if you go to some obonge centers like my own, I wrote in Oba, in one, I don't even know, one cyber cafe that is just somewhere. You get that kind of center that they'll give you. So in some of those centers, the computer systems are not well organized. So what they now do is everybody comes in and they start timing from their own time. For example, you enter and they say start, and the time when they say start is 10 o'clock, and the exam is supposed to be for 2 hours, and maybe you have an issue with, maybe you did not start booting your laptop on time, or your laptop did not agree to come on, that kind of thing, and maybe your own time now starts reading at 10:30. What happened in my center is that at 12 o'clock, that's 2 hours from the time they started reading, they will go to a central control system and switch it off, and all the laptops will go off. I don't know if people get what I'm saying. So irrespective of how many minutes you have left on your own laptop, their own time is up and everything will go off. And once it goes off like that, like even if you cry blood, they'll tell you to come back next day. So why I'm saying this is that just have it in mind. When you go there, don't start praying. When they have said start, that's not the time to start praying novena or speaking in tongues and wasting the time you are supposed to use to start. Start as soon as they say start. And also pray that your system does not have issue. But even if it has, it only means that you now have to be faster. Remember I told you that there is time. If you have actually worked hard, there is time. I don't know if I've touched everything, but I saved the best for the last, and that's the ultimate, God. As I've said before, God is very important. I know you have heard this so many times, but the mistake some of you make is that because you are writing JAMB and you want to pass, you will now be God's friend. Have you heard of fair weather friends? You will now go and befriend God for that 1 year or 2 years or months that you have something in mind, so that he will just help you, and then you leave him and say bye bye, I've gotten admission, and you forget about God. No, that's not the God I want to talk about now. I'm not going to tell you about having God for you to pass your exams. I want to tell you about having God because you have to have God in your life. God is good, and he's good in a way that he will not always, I don't know, he's not just there to help you pass exams, to send you money. He's there to make you a better person. He wants to make you stand out. He wants to make you a good person, if I should put it like that. he I don't know how best to express this thing to you people, especially now that you are just so eager to pass. But you need God more than passing. You need God because you are just starting. This is just the beginning. If I squad this jam, you will still see shege. I'm sorry that that voice note was cut short. But in essence, please know God for yourself. Know God. God is the ultimate. God is bigger than all these things. And He will help you to pass. And beyond passing, He will guide you. If you enter university, you start seeing another round of shege. That only God. Like JAMB is just the beginning, trust me. When you come in now, all of you be complaining every day on WhatsApp. But I don't know. Just hold God. And don't be a fair weather person. Know God for yourself. Do what His word says. Read the Bible. Pray. Pray. And do what God says. You know, eh, you know all those things you are doing that not what God wants. Just find a way to go back to God and let Him guide you. I'm not saying be going to church 7 times a week. Just make sure that God is a factor, is the main factor in whatever you're doing. As I said before, I know that all these voice notes sound like advice, but that's unintentional. I'm just I don't even know. I'm not even I've not gone far enough to speak so authoritatively on these things. I'm just a small girl with a big God. But I don't know. I just hope you understand and you'll be able to reflect on these things. These are what I did, and you compare it. You know how you are going to mold it, how you are going to bend it to suit your own schedule and all that. I don't know if any of you here knows me. Nsukka is a very small place. Okay, I've been saying Nsukka. Maybe some of you are not in Nsukka, but I really hope God helps you all. Um, Thank you for listening. I'm so honored. I've been talking for the past almost 1 hour 30 minutes, and I believe you all have been listening to my voice notes. I'm grateful. Thank you. If you have any questions, you can ask. I'll try my best to answer. Thank you so much. And also,